Have you been avoiding your finances and money? Or do you have lots of ease in this area? Whatever your current situation is, this subject can be pleasurable, fun, and light. And all it takes is the willingness to have more consciousness. Welcome to the Finances and Money with Joy podcast. I'm your host, Cristina Matsusaki, and I invite you to look differently at this world.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to the podcast with Cristina Matsusaki, Finances and Money with Joy. And here we talk about money and finances that is delicate for many people, but how can it be filled with joy and yes, a lot of fun. And today, look at the news that I bring to you. A guest, very special, Norma Forastieri. And in this journey, in my own search, how can I add more joy and fun in the finances and money and the tools of access consciousness that were brought from the founder, Gary M. Douglas, and Dr. Dan here? They have brought me a different perspective than what I've seen in the world. And Norma, she is so special not only as a person, but she's a pioneering, pioneering with the consciousness and the tools of access consciousness, bringing them to Brazil many years ago. And thinking of when Gary Douglas started access consciousness, he started with very few people, around 3 people on his room, and he started talking about topics on the daily lives, on how you can create your life as you want it to, as in a different way as anybody would talk in the world. And this is what I want to talk to with Norma. Welcome, Norma. Present yourself in your own way, please. Thank you, Chris. Norma is talking. Thank you for being here, for inviting me in this podcast. And thank you, everyone that will be listening to me. I use the tools of access consciousness. I think it's been more than 10 years now. And it's been incredible for me. I've always been this person, like, you're looking from the outside, I seem to be very calm and soft. But from within, I'm always in this, volcano, and with questions and this curiosity of really searching for news. And that person that is always into what else is available out there, what else can be available, and what else is possible. And I am a translator too, and it allowed me in my life to go through some ways in my life with the translation, and you can see to many places in the human creations, and I loved it, and I didn't get stuck in anything, and that's something that I had as a value of myself, let's say it. And then I started using the tools of access consciousness. When I found it, I used it for myself and to check that and how it worked and the dynamics, and suddenly in all areas of my life started to change, and I got more enchanted for it, and I started facilitating how is working. These tools are amazing and dynamics, and people in Brazil aren't even knowing about it. So for me was I did that demand for myself. Okay, I would like to bring these tools to Brazil so the people would know that. And at the same time, I knew, as if as if I had realized the future of, like, let's say, like, I wouldn't even talk about it, like, this name, this perception, in a different way, like when we look at it afterwards. But I had that sense when people would find this and use, they would also like have this wonder that I had, and be that was really present. So people were looking for it, and they didn't even know about it. So I kept using the tools, and the things were being created in this way, And one day, one step, another step, and then the other step, and things were showing up. And there's this thing of access, in Brazil, and there's also my life in it all, like the tools. When I met the tools, I was over 4 years old, and I was in a relationship that wasn't, nice. It wasn't cool. So I separated, and I created my life, and so there were a series of, we can say, stigmas and paradigms that this reality puts on how women can re-enter the job market after a certain age, and it's not gonna work, and she's divorced, there's nobody who's gonna sustain you. So there are many points of view that can be extremely limiting, so when we believe in it all as their reality, and then suddenly my life was a big challenge with it all. So not because I'm gonna prove it's going to work. It wasn't like from this that I was bringing it all. It was like, wow, these tools are so amazing. What else can I create with this? Wow, Norma. Cristina is saying, wow, Norma. And when you talked about it, 6 years, I thought that Access was here in Brazil 6 years. No, let's say I think it's short. No, it's more than 10 years, actually. Norma is saying. Well, I actually found Access in 2011, and at the end of 2010, around 2011. So more than 10 years, but 6 years ago, I am a facilitator. And the first people that brought the classes, that we call classes, actually, they are courses, to Brazil from Access Consciousness. And they started having these classes in Portuguese. And for the first time 6 years ago, the Brazilians could do these classes. I think Norma is talking. Okay, my math is not working, but I know that the first year I was the host of a class, the Access Bars here in Rio, was in 2015. So a little bit more. So I started using the tools and Math Access in 2011, 2010, and at the end of 2014, I facilitated my first bars class. So that's the math. Oh, okay. And Cristina, in 10 years, only of remembering 2 years ago, we had a global foundation that's a big class here in Brazil. So, and that was in person here in São Paulo. I know you are in Rio. And this class is a global class that there are many people from many countries, and it's also available for streaming. So around 3,000 people online and more than 1,000 people in person. And I'm pretty sure more than around these 1,200 people in life were Brazilian. Many of them, most of them were Brazilian. So this thing was the increase of it all was unbelievable, and people were searching for it, as you said, and you knew it. You had this sense, this certainty. And now, after you've first facilitated your bars class, you have nowadays you have one of the biggest certifications in access consciousness, like Maestro, with the most of the certifications and prerequisites. And now you are also a certified facilitator, so you can facilitate all these classes. So this journey isn't only of bringing these tools with a business vision, but it was like a changing tool in your life. So I would like you to talk to me. Also, you talked about your personal life and your relationship, but would you talk about your money? How was it? So, did the tools change anything? What do you see with it all about money?
Is now the time to have your true financial reality that you've always dreamt about and you know is possible? Would you like more ease with money and finances? So join us in the new Conscious Finance program in www.chrismatsusaki.com/FC. See you there.
When I started use the tools and my energy, my own energy, my own self-esteem and things, and people were asking, what's going on with you? Wow, what are you doing? And I started like joining classes, and I started having sessions for other people, for clients. So I got out of I was sustained by someone, and that's okay. You know, there was the tools that I figured out. I had a lot of points of view that maybe people wouldn't identify. Oh no, it's my money. It's not the money that I am creating. It's not the money that I am doing something for it. So that's not my money. So that's a point of view really different. That's a lot different in access. So I was choosing to have someone in my life, like that was my ex-husband and also my dad, that were paying all my bills. Okay, thank you for it all. So what else can I create? And I was using a lot. I was using this tool. What are the different sources that I can have in my life? Stream like resources, and at the same time another different ways of financial ways were coming up. So revenue streams, there were many revenue streams that were showing up. So in somehow I somehow also repelled into the money. So the facilitations were increasing, my money was increasing, and I created, I can say, my autonomy, very like just a little bit, but I I I cannot have like a sense of separation of money and different revenue streams that we can generate. But I started generating, creating, and have an amount, a financial amount that was way bigger than I imagined that I myself, my little self, could create. So I traveled so much to doing classes. I translated, and things were like increasing with the possibilities of businesses and money in a way that is wow. I I surprised myself, and at the same time I got those things and I got them to myself. I received that. So, and something that I started seeing when I started facilitating the Joy of Business classes, that's a specialty inside of Access Consciousness. These are classes related to business, to money, and I started to see the difference that this was creating also in the business of the people that were joining these classes. So there is a level of, what can I say? How can I say it? Well, of accomplishment when you are in front of the change of people's change in their lives, and you know that somehow you contributed to that, then that these tools contributed for that happening. So, and that's why I am so grateful, so grateful for having this possibility of facilitating this to people. And yeah, bringing what you asked, Chris, for me is from scratch, in a sense that I wasn't expressing these different revenue streams for me. So it was a scratch from, in a sense that they weren't open. I wasn't allowing myself to have it. So it opened, and then started opening it, and and it's opening even more, even nowadays. Wow, Norma, Christine is saying now, it's so fantastic that you're telling me that one of the first tools you used was a question. Really, there was just a question. So, where else can I have revenue streams from? So, how can I receive money? What else is available in this world that is different? And being open to receive these things that I see now, that I see a big thing in you, a greatness in you, that I would translate as self-responsibility, in a sense that you saw that, well, my point of view is actually creating the life that I'm choosing, that I'm creating. So yes, I do have the freedom to change my point of view, my vision of the world. What if I can have something different? So yes, what else is here? The question from it, and this willingness to change them many times. This points of view, oh no, it's just point of view. But what if, like, there are value in that, things that you are in life, things that you were learning, we came learning, like, even like before we were born, and you're willing to change, and maybe with this tool, this change, lose or maybe come apart from everything that you know now as a life. So that willingness to, okay, let's change. So what else? This is something that I admire so much in you, Norma, and this openness. You talked about your appearance, but now I see as this peace, this lightness, to see the world and say, wow, what else is here for me? What else is possible? So it's something that I admire a lot in you. And thank you so much for bringing that today too. Thank you, Chris, Norma is saying. And you're saying that. I don't know how much time we have left, but oh, we're good actually. Okay, great. I would really like to thank you for this. It's really like that. Many things changed almost as if immediately as soon as I started using the tools. So, like, my level of energy, of willingness, the shine, the sparkle in my eyes. So the things that I using this tool, like, that I love so much, Who does this belong to any feeling, thought, and emotion? When I learned that I thought that was that I was crazy, that I was paranoid, that it wasn't my paranoid, and that it wasn't mine. So my level of getting these things was really fast. That change was really fast. Using this tool really like very much, and different things like money took more time. And for me, I believe in my case. Oh, that's very important to talk about it. Norma Chris is saying so the persistence. Persistence is a subject that I've been recently not only looking at it but bringing to what is that persistence? Not even from that like when you insist on something it's actually so Norm is saying now uh if this worked for this in my life, I will look at it around money. Okay, so I remember once from Dr. Danger, once he said, uh, look at yourself as if you were a beautiful, incredible Titanic. And that Titanic has all this potency, but he got deep, you know. So you're looking at these tools, and while you got deep in the water as a Titanic in your life in a way that worked for you, how can you get it straight? How can you change, let's say, the course of a ship, not in a radical thing, radical change. It's in different degrees. A bit, change a bit here, change a bit here. You turn the right and more and more, and then you realize you're going to where you really want to go. So that came to me. So I used the tools. I used the facilitations. I became a job business facilitator, and things were changing from time to time. And so the time I started traveling more and having bigger classes, anyways, things started to change financially for me. I was already using those tools for more than 5 years. So the person that was looking from the outside would say, oh my God, look at her, that and that. But she didn't know all the journey that the Titanic was involved in to arrive to that place. So that's my invitation. Yes, there are things that are going to be like as if immediate. So because these tools are pragmatic, they are bringing you things that they are now here, but it's at the same time there are things that require more from us. So this thing, never give up, never quit, and never give in. So that's resilience. Not that you have to be that one that proves that you can carry the pain, the suffering, the trauma, drama, and not in the sense, but in the resilience, including you changing to the point that you can receive more and you allow more to come to you. So many things, Chris. We talk about the change of points of view and ask for the money that you would like to generate to have in your life. Now, how much are people willing to receive what they are asking for themselves? And some many times there is a place that they know that's going to change them. So that's if it's creating a conflictual paradigm. I want it, but if I do have it, who am I going to be? I'm not going to be that person talking about the money that is unhappy, complaining about it. If I do accomplish it, what will be my life? Like, as if they looked at receiving as if it was a stop, instead of, okay, receiving it, and what else? What else can I ask for? What else could I add? And now Cristina is saying, Norma, how was it for you? You didn't have fear of change? Of the unknown? Yes, Norma is saying. But it was something that sort of, it's a yes and no actually. And things that were in my head, but at the same time it was like, am I really with fear? Afraid? Or am I with that freaking excitement for the new? So, because, as if, like, really an adventure, like, bringing this new. You are, Christina is saying, you were one of the people that were bringing like this as a pioneering thing. You were, and you went out, out of Brazil and brought those tools. And this is something you are talking to me, like losing your identity per se, not knowing the willingness to be you, maybe me, may change into something that is different than what I know, than what I believed was good and would work up until now. So, giving up this is something that maybe is really like crazy, as we can say. It's something that brings fear. But what if that is fear, or what if that is excitement instead of fear? And for something new that is going to work for you. And that's also something that I realized only with the tools of access consciousness. Before then I was trying to fight the fear, to face the fear. Not that there aren't any other fear in my life, but there are, yes. But now getting to know when that is fear or excitement, and what I would really like to have. And the more I shoot to my target, my excitement increases. And I can say that it's amazing, this image of the Titanic that Dr. Dane talked about, and how the ship is. It doesn't change really quick, but it changes, and it goes changing and changing, and it's going to shoot for where you're going. So, another question, Norma, how do you know when you're going to where you want to go? How do we shoot for what you want to go? So Norma is saying that's a tool. That's a light or have tool. You can call it like that. What is light? It's something that expands your life. What is heavy is a lie to you, something that is not for you. And I love the tools, and the simplest tools are one of the expand even more and more and more and more. So it's not that there's already a journey that is ready for you, and you just join, and then you don't have to think about it, and you just let the thing go on. And there, all the time you ask questions, and you ask and recreate and choosing and creating with it. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not gonna work in the way that you want it, and you go and you change your route according to what you desire, and it's really empowering yourself to take your own life and go. And that's really something for me that we can say more courageous. I had a whole life wanting someone to choose for me or telling me what is right, what I should do, and suddenly having facing one thing that the person that is choosing my life is me. I am the one who says anything. So that's not wrong or right. There is not a wrong or right journey like organized for me to just follow on those steps from someone else. So I am the one choosing all of it. So going, it becomes an adventure in my from my point of view because it's as if at one place we are choosing from scarcity. Like I have a target, you have a goal, you you achieved it, and now what? So that's as if that is a stop. It's something that it's only for the next year. That I can find something new. No, each time you accomplish something, it opens up for more possibilities. That each time you choose something, this choice is going to open for different possibilities, and then you go. So instead of putting your life down to the lowest possible denominator, it's something where you have there your possibilities and possibilities of choice. And the more you choose, the more there are available for you to choose. And then that's for me the thing that I don't know gives me something like a short circuit in my mind in the ways the paradigms things on which we function from, and it's as if we only had a limited range of possibilities, and as you choose more, the more you're going to see there's more available to choose. And then for me it's on the creative edge of your own life. And then Christina is saying, yes, it's fantastic, this thing of choice. I mean, wow, and you really are telling me in a totally different way on we navigate our life. You use the target of what you shoot for, what is light, what is expensive for you, what's going to work for you, and probably the heavy thing is not going to work for you. And even though, like with this information, you're going to choose, you're going to act, you're going to be. Okay, I choose that, I choose that, and then you're going to decide. And then you're going to have your route in that moment. You chose one step and then the other step, and things are opening and opening and opening more routes and oceans, and I'm already seeing the Titanic on the world and to the galaxy, to the universe, and what else is possible, and it's incredible this Norma is saying. It's not something that is I'm playing in this and my life is here. No, your choice of everything in your life, it can be contributing to this change that you were asking for. So if you're following, asking light or heavy, for what will I eat for breakfast, or from which space I'm going to journey, someone you met on the elevator, someone you met on the streets, and talking, what is light, what is heavy. Okay, that's heavy. Why? What can be different here? So, looking in your daily life, you can have different choices. Sometimes that's what you choose. like if I choose to insist in fighting with that person, will that be lighter or heavier for me? Will this create more for me, or will that contract? And you're going to choose and make the choices, and you change them. So the sense that you have is really, if it's starting to be on the first chair of your life, and you get out of the place that you think you don't have choice. Oh, I have to do it this because I don't have a choice. You know that place? And that's something it creates for our money, for our life, in a very different way. That we realize, yes, we do have choice in all situations. And yes, Cristina is saying now, being able to choose and live the life you choose, it's really, it brings to me at least a joy that is a moment that you are living with your mouth full of really living. So, and we talk about it in Access. Yes, money follows joy. Money follows joy and not the projections and the calculations. Wow, exactly. And wow, Captain Norma Forastieri in this big ship flying in the galaxy. Thank you very much. And I would like you to talk a little bit on how people can find you, your Instagram, your website, and also if you would like to leave a message for everyone. Please. Chris, I just want to really thank for this talk, and I loved it, and I hope people can bring something from this to yourself. And I am on Instagram at Norma Forastieri.official, on www.accessconsciousness.com/Norma Forastieri. So, okay, and I like something Testimony Milasas, the founder of Joy of Business. She brings something. I'm gonna leave you with a question. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you choose? Wow, Norma. Cristina is saying now. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone here. And what else is possible? Thank you. Kisses and hugs.
My target is to empower and invite more and more people to the joy that finances and money can be. You can know more about this through my social media and my website, chrismatsusaki.com. And if you know anyone that's looking for this, let them know. Thank you, and see you soon.